I've got a program with a word-sized array already declared, and I've already declared watches in the watch window. But I want to take a look at the array in RAM. So the first thing I do is go up to Debug on the main menu, choose Window, and come all the way down to Memory. Then I'm going to choose Memory 1. Now here's a look into RAM. The hex addresses are on the left, and you can see individual bytes. Let's look at the place in RAM where the word array data has been placed. Notice the words are all in Little Indian order. So here's the 10, here's the 20, and so on. But we have a lot of options in Visual Studio. Let's set the view to show word size groups, in other words, 2-byte integers. To do that, I've got to right-click in the display. Notice the display is no longer in Little Indian format. Each group is now 2 bytes, and the data appears like it would in a register, or the way that you would have declared it. We can also cut down on the number of words shown in each row. And let's make sure that the display auto-updates as the values in RAM change. Now look at these tabs. They let us toggle between the register display and the memory display. This is going to be an example of indexed addressing with the EBX register acting as the index. Let's start stepping through the code. So we set up the loop counter on line 15. Then we're going to get the first word into the AX register. After we do that, we're going to add it to total. And notice where total is in RAM right after the word array. We update the index to the next value. Then we go back for the second pass of the loop. And notice total changes again. We're going to keep stepping through the loop and watch ECX decrease each time. Now we see total has a value of 168 in hex. Let's change the watch window to hex. And notice total down here has that same 168 hex. Now let's show how strings look in RAM. I've got the memory view open. I've declared a string named string1, which is just an array of bytes. And I've declared a second string that'll be the same length as the first. I'm filling the second string with capital A's so I can find it easier in RAM. Beats random values. Now I need to enter the address of string 1. It's showing 2-byte groups, but I want something different. I want single byte view because that matches how I declared the arrays. So I right-click and choose 1 byte. That's better. Now I'm looking at the hex representation of the ASCII codes. So 57 hex is 87, which is the ASCII code for capital W. And on the right, I can see the ASCII codes translated to characters. Here are all my capital A's to let me know where string 2 is. The ESI and EDI registers were designed for this sort of thing. The S in ESI stands for source. The D in EDI stands for destination. Let's start stepping through the code. Notice ECX is the loop counter and must be initialized. So we get a byte from string 1 and copy it to string 2. The capital W gets copied. Then the O. Then the lowercase w. Then the exclamation point. Okay, let's speed the process up. We get to the end of the loop and we mark the end of string 2 with a 0. We've looked into RAM with words and bytes. The watch window at the bottom is handy for individual variables, but looking into memory comes in real handy for arrays. Thanks for watching.